Let's put ourselves in the shoes of an American person. So what does this person want to do? Well, he has $1 and has to decide what to invest in. There's a billion things that you could buy, but let's restrict the choice among two risk-free assets. One is the US Treasury bill, and one is a freshly printed Euro bond. Okay? With the recovery fund, first time that the Euro zone goes on the market as a united fiscal unit and emits a bond. Okay? You can buy these two things. If you're an American, you can buy a US Treasury bill, US bond, or a European bond. Okay? So what can you do? If you have $1 today and you buy a dollar bond, it says, dollar deposit, but this was written in a time in which you put money in the saving accounts, give you some interest. It's been 10 years that that's gone, right? You get a certain interest rate of I-denominated, I dollars, okay? 2%. So if you put $1 in this deposit, you buy this US bond, at the end, you're gonna get 1 pound I dollars, okay? Let's do the same thing in Europe. You do the same thing in Europe, but you have to do one thing first. One thing is, well, you need to exchange euros for dollars. You have $1, you cannot buy a Euro bond in dollars, you have to buy them in euros. So you divide by the exchange rate here, okay? And so now you have 1 over the exchange rate, euros today. And then with this 1 over the exchange rate, which is a box C for people on Zoom, I completely ignored them today, sorry. You have this, and you multiply it with the return that you make on the Euro deposit, or the Euro bond, of 1 plus the I interest rate denominated in euros, okay? 3%, whatever, okay? Make sense, guys? So one option, you invest in the US. Other option, convert dollars per euros and buy the Euro bond. Then you wait a year. In 2 cases, you get your investment times 1 plus the interest rate. Makes perfect sense, right? But you have the investment in Europe denominated in euros and the investment in the US denominated in dollars. How do you know which of the two is larger? Well, you have to convert the Euro-denominated bond, the return that you make from that, back into dollars. How are you going to do that? You can make some expectations, right? And we're going to see about that next time. How can you be certain today about a price for dollars in exchange of euros? With the forward, right? With the forward. So you get a forward today at F, gives you a rate F dollars per euros, guaranteed a year from today. So you multiply your returns in euros by this forward rate, and that's your return in euros, in dollars, right, from investing in Europe. Okay? Make sense? Really? This is beautiful, right? Now, what's the point here? Why do these two things need to be equal to one another? Well, if the return in dollars are higher, let's go here. If the return on dollar deposits are higher than the dollar returns on euro deposits, converting in dollars in euros today and then converting back in dollars a year from now with the forward, if this is larger than this, you're just going to buy dollars. If instead the right-hand side is larger than the left-hand side, you're going to buy euros. If people buy both assets, must mean that the returns of the two assets are identical. Okay? Otherwise, you arbitrage your way. If this is larger than this, you borrow in euro and invest in dollars, and vice versa. Okay? Okay? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead 1 minute more. Now, if today we look up on the Financial Times or whatever, the returns on the Euro bond and the US Treasury bond, you're gonna see that the US T-bill is gonna pay like 2%. So the interest rate in dollars is 2%, and the interest rate on euros is probably 0. What would you buy, the dollar bond or the Euro bond? If the interest rate in Euro is so much smaller than the interest rate in dollars, right? And there's free possibility of buying US bonds and Euro bonds, there's no capital controls, there's no friction, right? That must mean that we are expecting the dollar to depreciate. The forward rate is going to be larger than the spot rate. If this is 2%, here we have 1.02. This must be equal to the right-hand side. If the interest rate on the euro is 0, it has to be the case that the forward rate is 1.02 times larger than the spot rate. The dollar gives you 2% return because a year from now, the dollar is going to depreciate by 2%, at least according to the forward. Does that make sense?